Welcome everyone to this week's Advisor Team Weekly webinar. I'm glad that you've joined us today. Today we're reviewing step number 4, talking about how to apply with the trade accounts and to effectively build your business credit. As you know, these webinars take place every Thursday at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time. We post these webinars on the Business Finance YouTube channel, and the recordings are sent via email after the webinar is completed. Let's dive right in. As you know, you can ask questions, and we will review those at the end of the webinar. Let me expand this page. Let's go to step number 4. So as you know, we're in step 4 because first we completed the foundation. We made sure everything is in order so that lenders can verify your company correctly. Then we went through steps 2, identifying any financing your business can qualify for right away. Sometimes clients think that they have to get through all 6 steps in order to get financing. Make sure that you talked with the advisor team when you went through step 2, because at that point, that is when we can start diving into any financing the business qualifies for right away. Step 3, we make sure that your DUNS number is established and search the Experian and Equifax reports to see if any trade accounts are reporting. If there is information reporting, you want to make sure everything was paid on time. Any negative items reporting may hurt your ability to get approvals in step number 4. It's also important that the business name, address, and any other information on your business credit reports is correct, and you're verifying that as you go through step number 3. Once you know all those housekeeping items are done in steps 1, 2, and 3, it's time to dive into building your business credit reports. As you know, when you're building your business credit reports, banks who you would think would report regularly to the business credit reporting agencies typically don't. Yes, they typically verify your business credit reports when you apply for financing, but they don't actually report the credit you get from them on your business credit reports. Seems like a bit of a catch-22, but that's the way the business credit world works. So what we need to do is build your business credit with trade accounts, because when you do go to apply for financing, most lenders will check your business credit and it can tip the scales to an approval. It can also improve the terms of which you receive your financing. That means things like your rate and the term, how long your financing is. So on the very first page of step 4, we're talking about how to go about using these trade accounts and vendor accounts. These are accounts that typically report. And we talked about this first item here. We talked about the second, are your bank accounts, your loans, credit cards, trade accounts. They're not. Even though they typically check your business credit, they don't actually report. And trade accounts and vendor accounts typically offer what we call net terms. For instance, a net 30 account, you can purchase goods and that payment is not due on those goods for 30 days. For instance, if you made that purchase at Home Depot, they'll send you an invoice and let you know when payment is due on the purchase you made within the net terms that they have set, net 30, 60, and so on. It's important to understand how trade accounts report. Trade accounts report your payment information to the business credit bureaus. They do this by sending the business name, address, and payment information or credit limit information to the business credit reporting agencies. So, for instance, if you made a purchase with Home Depot, when they do so, they will send your business name, address, and the payment/credit information to the various business credit reporting agencies. The agency will match that data up with the files they already have and then put that information on your report. You can see in this scenario, if the business name or address do not match up, your information will not be added to the correct report, or it'll be kicked out of the system and not report at all. That's why we really stress that it's important that the business name and address are matching on all your records. It says here, what if my account does not report? It rarely happens. It typically takes a vendor at least one billing cycle to report, but it can take up to 60 days depending on how that vendor reports, because they report in cycles, so they may not report until after the billing cycle and so on. So I tell clients to wait 30 to 60 days, up to 90, but when we hit that 90-day mark, then we're concerned. Did the information they received, was it correct? Did it match the business credit reports and so on? Typically, what we find, even with a client that felt like everything was matching, the vendor may have written down the information or put down the information wrong, therefore it was reported incorrectly and never showed. Another thing we see from time to time is that if a client pays right away, they're not invoiced for the goods or services, the payment was not made on net terms, then that payment isn't reported. And so where that client thought they had made a purchase and a payment that would be reported, it wasn't. There are some vendors on the list that are providing services and still report, but you'll know the difference. It's important to wait until you're invoiced before making your payment. Okay. It's important to make your payments on time or even early, not too early. Like we just talked about, that invoice needs to be generated, but it's very important to pay on time. Any negative items on your business credit report could mean that declines, and it can also mean we can't move forward and continue to build the business credit. Another common question we get is, what trade account vendors do I select? It's not completely black and white, but we do have the vendors separated into lists so that you can choose those that you most likely qualify for. We've also written out any other special qualifications a vendor may have, like they do approve with limited business credit history, but they like to see at least 2 years in business. We'll write that out so that you can review what that vendor likes to see and see if you are a good fit for their product. We'll go into that in more detail. Many applications will always ask for a personal guarantee. Do you provide one? We put on there no with an exclamation point. Do not offer a personal guarantee to the trade account or vendor accounts. These are accounts that should be approved without a personal guarantee. If they're asking for one, that means you likely applied incorrectly. Many of these applications will have a space on the application for a personal guarantee. You simply leave it blank. Okay. The application says that I need over 2 million in gross sales. Do I still apply? As your credit becomes established and you're in step 5, you'll see these type of requirements written at the top of the application. Still put it through as we have directed you, because we know that even though they have that stipulation, because of your established business credit, you will still be approved. Let's go to this last section. Why are you building business credit? We talked about this a little bit when I was a lender. Though the business credit is not the main factor that we approve or decline on, it is a factor that we look at, meaning we'll look at the business credit, and if they have well-established business credit history, that may tip the scales to an approval. It may also, as we talked about, improve the rate, improve the term, and so on. Another thing that many business owners overlook is how business credit helps with their cash flow. For instance, a builder typically does not get paid for a job until it's completed. Well, to purchase those goods, the supplies they need to complete the job, using a net account with Lowe's or Home Depot would be very helpful so that once he's paid for the job, then his bill is due. Another thing would be with your suppliers. If you receive supplies, you can get a net account with them typically. They may not publish it. You may have to call and ask about it. But with your established credit, you can get a net account with your typical suppliers and get your goods even at a better rate. So it's important to look into that and make sure that you're using your net accounts whenever possible. Can you get financing under business credit only? That's a very common question we get. And yes, you can. There are business credit cards that'll approve without a personal guarantee. You have to have at least 10 trade accounts reporting and a high credit limit of 10,000 on your business credit report to get an approval. There's a handful of these business credit cards that'll approve. They're typically with a vendor, but it's a Visa MasterCard that can be used anywhere. This section, this box goes into some critical details that we've already talked about. You know, your creditors don't typically report to all three business credit bureaus. These trade accounts may report to just one, and that's something different from personal credit. If you don't have an Experian or Equifax file, as you apply for the trade accounts, that file will be created. Some vendors will approve your company for net 30 payment terms upon verification with as little of it as a EIN number and a 411 listing. Vendors and trade accounts are the typical lenders that use this 411 listing system as a part of verification. You can see here we've clearly stated always apply without a personal guarantee. Leave the Social Security number off. If you have questions, you can call the advisor team. Our goal in step 4 is to get a total of 5 payment experiences reporting on your business credit report. That means if somebody reports to multiple bureaus, let's say you are using a printer for you, you can see they report to DMB and Experian. That means when they report, this trade account counts as 2 payment experiences against the total of 5 that you need to move to step number 5. How did we come up with that requirement? We have found that the vendors in step 5 won't approve unless you have at least that number of trade accounts reporting, and we're trying to prevent declines as much as possible. Okay, so our goal, like we talked about, is getting 5 payment experiences reporting. So what we do, step 4 application process. First, review the trade account and vendor lists. There are many pages to go through. Each account is divided into an industry. Select the accounts that you're interested in by marking the boxes. Apply for the trade account, wait for approval, make a purchase and payment, and then monitor your business credit reports to watch as it is approved or as it reports. The starter vendor list, now, if you're a new business, you have no prior business credit history and so on, you'll likely have to pick 1 or 2 from the starter list. You can see there's vendors like Laughlin, Online Biz Suite who offer services, but they do still report just based on that service. There are office supply stores like Quill, Reliable. Some of these will require that you make a regular purchase before they offer you net terms. You're right, they aren't rolling out the red carpet to help you build your business credit, but we have to keep in mind that we're starting to build the business credit and it's going to be a process. Just like when you built your personal credit, it took time to get the terms that you wanted. Okay, so you'll keep going through the list and you'll select those by marking the box that you're most interested in. You hit save and continue at the bottom of the page. And you'll continue to go through these lists. As I talked about, we have this getting approved section that talks about what that lender is looking for. So you fill in the provided application and fax it in. You must be in business for at least 2 years, and they will pull a business credit report to see how your business has paid bills in the past. If there isn't enough data on the business credit report, they'll ask for bank statements and a trade reference. You'll call this phone number to get an application. You'll fill it out, fax it back to this phone number, and a DMB number is required. No personal guarantee. So you can see there's a lot of useful information. To get more detail, though, you need to mark the box so that when we get to the end of the step, we get the information you need to apply. Okay, so you'll continue to go through these lists. I've already marked some, so we're going to quickly go through. And you can go through these to really see who is listed here. Just know that we are constantly looking for more and more trade accounts. The reason the list is limited is not everybody reports or reports regularly. We've also found that many vendors only report if something is late. And so this list is limited by the market more. And so these are the actual trade accounts that are available in the market that report regularly and will grant credit to a business with little to no prior business credit history. So you can see here, for instance, for this vendor, you're getting more detail. We're on the very last page of step 4. And this is where we talk about applying. There's a video tutorial, application tips, and what to do if you're declined. So you're going to verify the getting approved paragraph listed before applying. That is this paragraph right here. We put very important details right there. Don't supply a personal guarantee. Use the links or instructions to apply. Don't just walk into the store. We have outlined the best process to apply with that vendor. If you go outside that process, we can ensure that the approval process is the same. We typically have found the best way to apply, and we've outlined that process for you on the website. For instance, there are some stores, if you walk in, it's a completely different approval process than it is if you apply online or call for a faxed app. So there's definitely an art to this process of which we have outlined. Keep track of your applications. You may need to follow up with the creditors. And I know that's work. Unfortunately, we can't call in for you because we are a third party, but we're here as support to guide you through it and consult and make this as easy as possible. And once again, we outlined you must have at least 5 payment experiences reporting in order to move to the next step. What do you do if you're declined? Well, let's have you call the creditor and see why you were declined. Ask them to look at the application again. Sometimes when they do that manual review, they'll approve it. Make sure you applied with the correct business information, that it's matching all your corporate records and your business credit reports. Pull your business credit reports to make sure there's no negative items. Verify that 411 listing, and if those things still aren't adding up, then contact the advisor team and we will look into that in more detail. Okay, so on this page, your selected vendors, it gives you the information you need to apply, including your sign up links and so on. You'll set up 2 or 3 of these accounts so you get that total of 5 payment experiences reporting. Once you've submitted your applications, you'll follow up with those vendors. Once those are approved, you'll make your purchase, and then we wait for them to show on your business credit reports. You'll monitor your reports on the dashboard or within step 3. You can see the 3 links here. The advisor team can email the links to you and so on. You can actually check your Experian right from the dashboard by clicking on this link, and the Experian pop-up will pop up and show you how many trade accounts you have on your corporate Experian. Okay. So that is step number 4. Let's see if we have any questions. No questions today. Well, I am thankful that you all joined me today. I hope this was helpful in helping you see how the application process works in step 4. As you know, the advisor team is here to always help, and you can give us a call at 800-497-0499 or send us an email at advisor@businessfinancesuite.com. It's a pleasure to work with each of you, and have a wonderful day.